3 schools where he's amassed over 250 wins. He is currently an administrator at the Nazareth Independent School District in Texas Panhandle, and he will soon be moving to Martha's Mill Independent School District to be a secondary principal. He is actively involved in developing youth through Christ, character, and sports. He started Right Core Athletics in 2011 and has conducted numerous camps throughout Texas, including several years here at Legacy. Coach Reed serves on the executive board for Still Creek Ranch, which rescues kids from crisis situations and provides them with a home and education. He has a servant's heart. Coach Reed is married to his beautiful wife, Eva, and they have 2 sons, Riley and Colton. It is my great pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Coach Chad Reed.
Stay a little bit. through sports and life. And so, we develop all these qualities that we feel that an individual should possess, and we try to share that with kids. And I just want to share those with these guys, and I'm sure Daniel and some of these guys that come to camp at Legacy have heard them. But it doesn't hurt to have reps, right? As an athlete, you got to have reps. So, the first one we talk about being successful is your faith. And, it has to be present in your life, and it's a strong conviction. It requires obedience. I love referencing 1 Samuel 12:24 with that. It says, but be sure to fear the Lord and serve Him faithful with all your heart. Consider what great things He has done for you. Just a great verse to go along with that. And your faith is going to grow as you grow. And I'm a true testament to that. As a young person, I wasn't as committed as I should have been. But as you get older and you start having families, and you're just going to strengthen in your faith. I'm sure of that. The next thing we talk about are the 3 C's: commitment, confidence, and courage. I love the definition we came up for commitment. It's a dedication to a cause. You're all in. There's no in between. I mean, you hear that a lot. It's probably young athletes, and you're either in or you're not, right? You hear that all the time from your coaches. Confidence comes from believing in yourself, and I really believe that confidence this could be your greatest personal resource, because you have to develop confidence to be successful, and that comes from friends and family, but in the end it comes from you. And the last thing I want to see is the courage. You have to have mental, physical, and moral strength to face your fears, adversity, and your dangers. And there's 3 verses that go along with that are very good. I think Proverbs 16:3 says, "Commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established." And then in Hebrews, there's a great verse in chapter 10 that says, "Do not throw away your confidence, which has great reward, for you have need of endurance, so that when you man, you be strong and courageous, never be discouraged, because I am your God, and I will remain with you wherever you go." Another couple of values that we talked about: motivation. I heard Danielle talk about motivation in senioritis earlier. Motivation is within. It comes from within. It can either be given or taken. It comes from inside you. You have to have the drive to get things done. And, along with that comes your work ethic. I listened to Daniel speak about his career. And, I don't know Daniel real well since I've seen him in camp, but I know what kind of work ethic he had in camp. And, so a work ethic is, you have to be sound in your journey. It's essential. That's the vehicle to getting things done for you guys. All right? Nothing's going to work unless you do. My dad told me that pretty much daily, kind of like he was talking with Gus here. Nothing's going to work unless you work. I love, Danielle used the verse Colossians 3:23. Great verse. Great verse. No matter what your task is, work hard. Always do your best as the Lord's servant, not as man. And then the last thing that we try to tie into all this is something that is probably one of the most important things you're going to have as a person is integrity. Along your journey, what are you going to do? Are you going to do the right thing, both morally and legally? Do we really need to elaborate on integrity? I mean, we all know what right and wrong is. We should know what right and wrong is. Hopefully, graduates by 18, you should know what right and wrong is, right? But your ethics are going to be tested. They're going to be tested by this world at some point. And your integrity is going to be intact. And you're going to have to be able to do the right thing when it may not be a popular thing to do. And that's going to be a tough day on you, I promise. I bet a lot of people in this room could vouch for that and say the same thing. So, I use Job 31:6 in that. Weigh me on a set of honest scales so God has proof of my integrity. So, one thing I've always stressed to our kids in my programs as a coach is in order to fulfill all these values on a daily basis, we have to have the right attitude, and you've got to develop a toughness about yourself, and you have to have passion. Those 3 things: attitude, toughness, and passion. I think you might wear a camp shirt that has that on it. But you see, the world's going to try to whip you every day. It's going to try to destroy your happiness at some point, and it's going to try to tell you that you're not worthy. So your attitude is going to determine your outcome. You've got to develop a toughness about you that will not let you fail. I've always approached my life with a chip on my shoulder, and I've always had that mindset that no one's ever going to outwork you. No set out to achieve. That's easier said than done, but that's why the qualities mentioned above, I think, are so important in your journey, and why you need to possess those qualities, and you need to reflect on qualities and rep those qualities on a daily basis. You've got to seek God, though, to see through all those. And then passion, man, you got to love what you do. I stand up here today, education is my passion. I was an agriculture major in college, and I thought I wanted to be in agriculture, but God led me to kids, and my passion is kids, and I love seeing kids grow and develop. And, so Coach K defines passion as extreme emotion. He states that when you're passionate, you always have your destination in sight, and you're not distracted by obstacles. Because you love what you're pursuing, rejection and setback will not hinder your pursuit. Nothing will stop you. I think that's a great quote from a great coach. And when you love what you do every day, you want to get out of bed every day, and you want to go to work, or whatever you guys choose to do as you grow, and you become fine young men and women and adults. Just love what you do. Find that career that you love. All right. Someone asked me the other day, what has been the most rewarding part of my career? And that answer was very easy. It's relationships. I was walking through some of the seniors' displays, and there's medals and plaques, and we all want those skins on the wall. We want trophies and medals, but as I brought through my career, people were my priority. I wanted to make those long-lasting relationships and develop them, and honestly, one of the reasons why I'm here today is because of two long-lasting relationships with the Garza family and the Lasker family, who I've stayed connected with throughout the years, and they're great families. So that's what I've enjoyed, and that's been the ultimate reward in education. So I'm just going to leave you with a few words of encouragement. I know you're probably getting tired, and I think this guy's getting on and off on the He's ready for that. I hear you, man. I hear you. But I encourage each of you to develop those kinds of relationships with the people you encounter on your journey. I encourage you to seek a mentor or multiple mentors. Mentorship is a vital part of our development along our journey, because I promise you,